They like pretty eyes to do. They like pretty eyes in prison, motherfucking shit. Anyway, don't get me started.
Man, hey, there's something I wanted to talk with you about. You mentioned something a few weeks ago, and I made a note to ask you about it later on. And I've heard it mentioned on my program as well from several people. And I know you've briefly talked about it in the past, but am I saying it right? We're going way back. Is the CETA program? It was a program back in the day.
CETA, CETA.
Oh, CETA. Okay, SETA.
Yeah.
Okay, SET. What did that stand for? Do you know?
Certified Education Training. Certified Training is something like this. Certified Training.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
What do you know? What do you know about the history of that? And I think you were part of that program, or you worked through that program or something, right?
Yeah, I was part of that program right after it came out. Right after the '64 riots. Oh, okay. They would give young people jobs to keep their minds off of burning down the city. Okay. I had cousins that benefited from it, and from like June to September, they give you a job at the park or the county office or something to keep you busy, keep some money in your pocket, give you some work experience, and keep your mind from burning down the goddamn city. And it was working fine until Ronald Reagan came along and shut it down.
Mm. Do you know
there's
why?
Another program.
Oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
No, there's a similar program like that right now through American Jobs, AJCC, American Job, California something like that. I get interns to help me do different things for my nonprofit. They basically pay people for a short period of time to work for the nonprofit or the organization with hopes get them a job and the organization will hire them at some point in time. But CETA program got shut down by Ronald Reagan.
Mm. Okay. Do you know why?
He came in and he cut all government money. That's when he threw all the crazy people. I mean, all the mentally ill out of the hospital.
Street.
He shut down the bus.
Yeah.
That's when we started having the homeless issue, man. That's when the homeless issue started happening because we lost all compassion. Our government lost all compassion for the mentally ill. Okay, mentally ill need a place to stay. They need treatment. They need help. They can't function. You can't just kill them. So Ronald Reagan has cut all the funding from the mental health programs, and everybody was left to walk the street. They kept a few of them, but most of them ended up in the streets. That's why so many people say that homelessness, mental illness leads to homelessness. Because at one point in time, people would get treatment. It's kind of difficult. It ain't as easy to get treatment as it used to be, especially if you need inpatient care.
Damn. Yeah, I heard about that. I remember in the mid '80s in Long Beach. Apparently, there was a big. They let a bunch of them out, and I remember the Long Beach homeless population exploding like crazy because that's where I was living at the time.
Yeah, it was a thing. Not only Long Beach, not only mental institutions, but they even fined. I think it was Kaiser or one of the big county hospitals. Because once you got to a certain level of you had a certain ability where you can walk and take care of yourself, they would have vans drop people off down Skid Row, and you just kick your ass out right down the street.
My dog wanted to come and say hi. Sorry, I don't know if you see.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Hey, mama. Sorry, go ahead. Go. Yeah, that's crazy. And I was watching something, Lonzo, like an old video from the 80s in Los Angeles, and they were walking down the street, and I was just watching the video. I was like, damn, what's different? And then it hit me. I was like, there was no homeless people in this video. And I was like, if I walk down that same street right now, it's filled with tents. Tent City. I mean, Tent City is everywhere, Lonzo. When we were younger growing up, we knew where Skid Row was, right? There was one spot, it was Skid Row, and boom, that's where everything was. But now there's Skid Rows everywhere, dude. It's out of control, man.
And that's one of the things I'm dealing with here in New York, man. We're talking about, I'm dealing with country, Helsinki, Finland. There's you got the Kingdom here. Maryland is here. There's about 10 different cities, man. And so many people have the same problem. Mm-hmm. And but what I found out today by one of my work study program partners, who's from Finland, They don't have homeless in Finland.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have homeless in Finland. Okay, she said they have what they call a democratic republic. I mean, a democratic social democrats, or democratic socialists, and the government, the taxes are higher, but all the people's needs are met through the government. So they have health care your health care is paid for. They have social programs. There are no homeless in Finland. We're talking about homeless, and she's sitting there like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I can't relate. I can't comment on this subject. I know nothing about it. Huh? Yeah, dude. So there's ways if you have to, and this is what we're learning while we're on this program, is that we have to stop thinking within the same confinements, mentally and even legally. Some things have to change, man. Some things have to change. You can't tell a person who's been in the streets 24/7, you can only be in the shelter from 7 to 7. You got to be in by 7 o'clock in the evening. Got to be out by 7 in the morning. Okay. Mm-hmm. I understand you can't make it a hotel, but there sometimes people just maneuver in different ways, and this is what we're learning, that so many programs are built for the comfort of the people that are running the program, as opposed to being focused on helping the people that need the program. You follow me? Mm-hmm. So and they put the program together. They make it very comfortable for them. Okay, you have to be at a certain time. You got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this. But if I'm mentally ill, or what if I got a job that keeps me out to 8 or 9? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no exception. You got to be in by 7.
Yeah.
So if you got a job, you probably can't. If you make over $15 an hour, you might not be able to come to this place and get a bed while you work. There's so many bureaucratic situations that even people with jobs find themselves in cars, sleeping in their cars, because there's no place for them to rest their head while they go through what they go through. Okay, there may be hey man, I lost my property in the pandemic, but I got a job. I'm saving some money, and I should be on my feet. But because a woman with a kid or a guy with a kid, we gotta sleep in the car. I gotta traumatize my kid by sleeping in the car, or might get separated because I got a little girl, as opposed to a little dude. Listen to all these different rules and regulations. It really makes you understand why people just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sleep outside near my kids." I can't do this.
Yep,
okay,
that's facts.
A lot of the programs are more convenient for the people running them than the people that actually need the services.
And not to mention, because Chris Stack said something, it brought it up in my head. He said, our homeless shelter here in South Bend, Indiana was rampant with bed bugs. They do nothing about it. One thing about these shelters too, which goes to your point of I would rather sleep on the street, is they're dirty. The food is roach infested, rat infested. I've worked closely with a lot of these shelters back in the day, and I would rather sleep outside next to a damn gutter than sleep next, to, and then you unfortunately have the mental health situation where, you the guy sleeping next to you may just wake up in the middle of the night and think you're a ghost and want to stab you. It's a weird situation, this homeless thing, man.
You got so many people. I was talking to a lady today. She said her brother got arrested. He was 14 for stealing a chicken. Kept him in jail for 40 years. Okay. And when he finally got out of jail, he didn't want to be condemned no more. He'd been in jail for 40 fucking years, man. He didn't want to be locked up no more. So he prefers to stay outside, okay? Because he's been locked up for 40 years, and it had a mental effect on him. And he's just like, dude, I can't do this, okay? And, if he's treated properly, maybe you can ease him in, but it's going to come on his terms, because he was done. Again, the system did him so bad. He has, I can't say the right, but for lack of a better word, he got the right to be a little crazy, man. And it's up to us to try and find ways to work with him to get him back on track. And, it just, there's so much bureaucracy. It's like, I'm giving you a place to stay, and this is the rules, you got to do it. It's like you're somebody's mama. Yeah. You're homeless. I'm going to give you a place to stay, But
Your ass better be
you
at
have to
home
do
by
it.
7 o'clock, or the
Do
doors
it
are
my
locked.
way, or keep your ass outside. Yeah, I stay outside.
Yeah.
Then you look up and you get all these homeless beds that's empty. You got homeless shelters that are empty because the bureaucracy that is placed on the homeless, it renders them useless.
Yeah.
And I've done this before I got to New York. I mean, being the president of a chamber of commerce, man, you get to see all kinds of stuff, dude. I was one of another chamber confided in me about a series of mobile homes that's owned by a bunch of gangbangers. Wow. You see a lot of these mobile homes, these raggedy ass mobile homes. These guys buy them, they park them there, and rent them to people that are homeless. But as soon as they start paying them, they burn them up. Look at how many burnt up homeless campers you see on the streets.
Wow.
And here's something even crazier. We got people living on the freeway that the local gangbangers are taxing them to live under the freeway.
Get the fuck. You know what? That makes all the sense in the world. Man,
the man already out in the cold. You gonna charge him to live under the freeway? Oh, this is my hood, man. You got to kick in. But because he only charged him, I don't know, $100 a month, whatever. It ain't a felony. It's still extortion, but it's not felony extortion.
Man,
so the DA don't take the case. The DA don't take the case.
Damn.
The DA don't take the case. So you have no real recourse. What the homeless going to do? What do they call the police on them? You might not have a cell phone. You ain't got time to go to court. So you create a subculture that flourishes because the current court system only deals with crimes up to a certain level. After a certain point in time, but below a certain point, I ain't really tripping on it. Okay, so y'all do what y'all want to down there. Ain't no money in that for me. Okay, ain't no money in that. So let me leave that alone.
Man. Dude, I'm looking at this time. That hour flew by. I love these conversations, Lonzo. Before we go, man, pump up Friday because it's a big event and I can't wait
Friday,
for it.
Once again, folks, the premiere of the E vs. Dark documentary, Compton Love, goes down at the Cinemark Theater in Los Angeles. If you're in LA, come on. The show starts at 8 o'clock. I'll be there earlier taking pictures, hanging out with the folks that made the documentary happen. My director, David Velo, will be there in the house. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a nice little ride, especially for it to be almost a year to the date. It's almost a year, only like 4 days after the original situation, and we were able to pull this documentary together in a year. Okay, actually less than a year. I got 3 of the documentaries I've been working on for 4 years, but this is right here. We were able to pull it together in a year because we weren't sure what Rihanna may do. And we didn't want her to upstage us, so we were kind of pushing and praying out. This bitch don't do no super shit.
Have a baby on stage and shit.
Okay. Do some strong J shit, okay? But yeah, so like I said, I had met at the Super Bowl show, but we still got the winner. We in top 5. We top 5. Us, Michael Jackson, and Prince.
Yep.
Yeah, top 5, baby.
There you go. That's it.
So, it is what it is, man. So I'm looking forward. Anybody can make it. Tickets only like $10 to $12. Come on out, folks. I ain't got no more passes. They only gave me 2 passes. I had to buy tickets for my family already, so I ain't got nothing to give away. But come on through, show some love, folks. I'd appreciate it.
It's going to be a good time, man. I'll definitely see you, and thank you to everyone in the building, always showing love. Please hit that like button on the way out. And Lonzo, I will see you on Friday, my man.
All right, folks. Much love to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace.
Going back to studying now, Doc.
Yeah,
Peace.
man.
They got me in college.